Welcome to Hear Me Out and Pass the Scissors, a podcast where two long-distance scrapbooking friends talk creativity, chaos, and cutting things up on purpose. I'm Lisa from Life and Layouts on YouTube.
And I'm Nicole from Coley Being. Whether you're scrapbooking at your desk, your kitchen table, or just in your head, grab your scissors and hear us out.
So hear me out. Sometimes the things that start as a hobby slowly turn into your whole life.
And suddenly, you're not just making scrapbook layouts anymore. You're running businesses, joining dream design teams, packing orders, filming videos, and wondering how this all became real.
Today, we're talking about some major changes. From joining the Bella Blvd Creative Team to walking away from corporate life and stepping into content creation full-time. This season has been a little wild.
We're sharing the excitement, the scary parts, the behind-the-scenes reality, and what happens when your creative side hustle stops being just a side thing.
So whether you're building something creative on your own, just trying to figure out your next chapter, or just want to listen to our adventures, grab your scissors
and hear us out.
So normally on these episodes, we both come in with strong opinions and some questionable ideas. But today, Nicole is basically interviewing me because apparently my life just got dramatic. Several months ago, about 6 months ago, we released an episode on the podcast. It was season 1, episode 6, called From Hobby to Side Hustle. And we were talking about the fact that we went from creation to creating layouts to just being us in our scrapbook room to opening up our scrapbook room to the world and making that side hustle, whether it was the affiliate links or the other design teams that we were trying out for, just trying to present ourselves out to the world. And that was a great episode. But it never imagined that we would be here 6 months later.
You, not me.
I would be here 6 months
very
later.
Lisa themed episode.
Yes, absolutely. Because I have left the corporate life. And while part of it was my decision, part of it wasn't, it all has been brewing for probably the last 18 months. So let's go down that journey and look back just a little bit about what has happened in the last year. I'm going to start with probably November of 2024, because that was the very first time that I said to Nicole, hear me out. What if I quit my job? And Nicole's response was?
It was spazzed out. Bad enough that I was telling my husband this stuff. And he's like, why would she do that? And I was like, I know.
So at that point, I don't think that it was more than just a dream. I think it was, I had recently lost my grandfather. My mom had retired because she came into some issues with the corporate world, just not realizing how devastating it is to lose a parent. Like, I can't imagine being in my mom's shoes for them to tell her that she didn't have any more sick leave as a teacher and she had to return to work. Like, I mean, Granddad was taken off life support on Tuesday and the following Monday she was told that. And she was like, no. Like, I couldn't even imagine being in a company that had that much just not caring about their employees, because she worked in a large corporation. Because when I called my boss and I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do this work, I don't know what I'm going to do, and her response was, this doesn't matter. Take care of your family, do what you need to do.
I remember when you were dealing with all that, it was very kind of day by day. You decided if you were going to work that day or if you were going to go deal with the house that day. Like, you were just, they seemed to accept your, hey, I'm clocked in today, I'm available, I will not be available tomorrow. Or,
right. Yeah.
You know,
and
whatever days were working better for you.
Yeah. And working for a small company, I think that has an advantage where I was able to, talk to my boss and be like, hey, we've got to go and 2 hours away deal with whatever's going on with the house or the funeral or stuff like that. Because I'm sure other people have lost their family members and being close to it. So my mom was the beneficiary to everything in regards to, or I guess it's called an executor, everything, but I was a beneficiary. So there was a lot of things that my mom had to do, but there were also things that I had to be involved with as well. But then you also get to a point where you're just at a standstill. Like we took care of a bunch of things right after he passed, dealing with all that stuff. But then it came to the point where we had to wait on death certificates and things
you're
like
waiting
that.
for the administrative side of all the paperwork, all the stuff.
Right. And being the workaholic that I am, because let's just admit that that's what I am.
You have no chill.
Yeah. So it was like, well, I could go back to work, for 2 or 3 days, get stuff done, get caught up a little bit, and then have to go back out later on to take care of stuff after stuff was steal.
You better throw that ball.
It's like, throw the ball.
We both have invaders today.
Yeah. See if he'll go. He comes into like ins and outs, and he's like, I need the ball now, and then he won't give it back to me. And of course he brings it back. Can you drop it? All right, will you play with it?
No, that's half the game is the bubble gum part.
Yeah, is getting it back.
Yeah.
So that was probably the first time. But then it was also going through with everything with my mom and realizing that that's just not, I'm never going to walk away from work, because I think I'd mentioned this before. I don't know if I've done it with the podcast or just with you or somewhere on my channel. I walked in graduation on a Saturday. So technically, like when you graduate from college or even high school, like you get done a little bit ahead of time, but then your graduation is usually like a week or so later. So I walked in graduation on a Saturday. The following Friday, I was sitting in the training of my first real grown-up job. And the only reason that it was a Friday was because that was when their week started and that's when their training started. So I went from walking in graduation to immediately going into the social work field and being in that field for 23 years. I did child protective investigations, which is that a go job for craziness for 9.5 years. And then I transitioned into training. But I've been in this field for so long and things have happened. This was before several years ago, like personal things that happened, that it just didn't have the desire to be in the social work field like I was before. The system is broken. We all know that the system is broken, and continuously seeing families not get the services that they need when we, the people who are out in the field, are doing everything that they can, but our hands are tied.
Yeah, it's similar to like, because I worked for the local police department, and you're 9 times out of 10, you're seeing people on their worst day.
Yeah. And then just not being able to do anything for them or having the system work against you. It's hard. And being in the system for so long, 23 years is a long time to be in child welfare. So the last probably year, I have not been happy at my work. Like every day I would get up and just be dreading clocking in, going to work, doing what I was supposed to do. Like and it was the people, it was the job that I was doing, it was all kinds of things. So in January, there was a big announcement that the system that I had been working on was going on pause. And no idea what that meant. Like, we were still working. That's what we were told. You're still going to work. You're still going to do what you're supposed to be doing, but we're just going to be pausing what we're doing. So the first week after we got that, the program that I had been working on for 6 months, I spent the entire week putting everything that I had worked on back into draft mode because it couldn't be live on the website. And that every time I hit that, revert to draft, because it was page by page that I had to do that. I was just like, I hate this job. I hate everything about this job. Like all the work, the hard work that I had done for 6 months was being reverted. Yeah,
because you guys were also chasing like a hard deadline too.
Yeah, like we were.
So then to be like, well, let's take 2 steps back real quick, because
Yeah. So then we spent a couple months, trying to figure out what legislative wanted to do in regards to this program, this federally mandated program that we were implementing, what the local government was trying to decide to do about that. And that's a frustrating thing as well. It's like, this is a requirement for all states. And locally, you're saying we're not going to do it anymore? Well, how that works. Like, you can't just tell the federal government you're not going to do your job. But again, above my pay grade. So in early April, it's like the first week of April. Well, let's actually take a step back. So
it was April Fool's Day, right?
Yes, it was. All right. So on April 1st, which let's point the fact out that it is April Fool's Day, an opportunity presented itself to me for joining Bella Blvd's creative team.
I do want to point out that I had some sneaking suspicions just based on like my short time in these different streets, that I was like, I think something's coming. And you were like, you were so just like in your I hate work mode, nothing good ever happens to me. And I was like, no. Like, planets are aligning. I think something's happening. And you were like, you're lying. And I was like, okay, fine.
And also, we had talked about this last year in the podcast as well. That last year
I told you. Yeah. I had my yes year. I said, I think some things are coming your way.
And it has happened that I feel like your statement of not only your yes year was last year, but my yes year will be this year, and it will be manufactured by me as opposed to like, yeah. So that's what has happened in the last month. I feel like this yes year that is happening right now, that I'm in the middle of, is all manufactured by me. So April 1st, I got that information. I had a panic attack.
She then proceeded to panic. And I was like, this is good news. Why are we panicking? This is good stuff. And the things that you were saying back to me, I was like, get off the ledge, to be first place. Say yes, secondly, and then call me.
Yeah. So I am the type of person that good things doesn't happen unless bad things happen immediately following it.
I think this is something you've just convinced yourself.
Probably. I know that it's not worldwide.
Delusional.
Yeah, maybe. But it did happen in this situation where
you also kind of knew that was coming.
It was a possibility, yeah. So I got that information, was freaked out, wasn't excited about it in the sense of like, I couldn't get past the Sheldon breathing into a bag panic attack that I was having. I couldn't get past that. It was more of good things don't happen. So where's the other shoe? Like, it's going to drop. I know it's going to happen. About a week later, I got an email from my boss that she set up a meeting with me. And she proceeded to tell me that the team was being reduced and there was a decision made that my contract wouldn't be fulfilled after the month because I am a contract worker. So I was like, well, there's the other shoe. So at that point, I was like, still toying with the idea of like maybe making content creation a full-time job. And Nicole was still...
Listen, you wouldn't think as like messy as I am, but I thrive on repetitive safety net type life. Because like every couple of years, my husband will come home and he'll be like, I'm quitting. I'm going to get back in a van and make no money. And I'm just like, insurance, retirement. Like, I have no marketable skills at this point. Like, I go into full panic mode but I think like I am the saver of our family. He is the spender. So it's like, it's one of those things where I'm like, I think about that. And then like I adopt other people and I start thinking about that for you. And I'm over here like, think of the insurance, think of the kid. Yes. Which Eli validated my feelings because he was like, what did he say?
Yes.
We're poor now.
Yes, he has. So before we get there, so let me get to this point. So I had 3 weeks of a job left, basically. So it was like early April that they told me this. They told me that I would have until the end of April. That's when the contract was over. And so I started to think, like maybe this was a sign. I want to do this, but would I ever quit my job and actually do this full time? Absolutely not. Had this opportunity presented itself to me in a different way, I don't know that it would have all aligned like it has. But I started to think maybe this is something that I can do because I've wanted to do it for a long time. I've wanted to make life and layouts designs so much bigger than what it is. I have so many ideas in regards to creating digital content, but I never had the time to do that because I was doing my full-time job. I was pretty much putting full-time work into keeping my channel up to date, creating layouts, uploading them every 3 days. It's a lot of work. And any content creator is going to let you know that because I get that often
which is why I don't do it and why I'm always like, you could go like 4 days, 5 days, you could skip.
Yeah. And a lot of times we'll see that in like the content creator Facebook groups where we'll see people like, how do you have time to put up as much content as you do and work a full-time job? Because if you really follow content creators, there are 2 categories. There are people who make it their full-time job and they're able to put out a ton of content. And then you have people who are hobbyists and sometimes their content's put out regularly. Sometimes it's sporadic and you love them, you hate them, whatever the situation is.
I'm in that one.
That's Nicole. Yes. But I feel like you have built a community.
There's a tolerance level. People, I've made it a priority to be like, there is no schedule. In fact, you said the other night, you were like, I can't believe you just like finish a video, upload it, and like wing it out there if it doesn't have a deadline. And I'm like, I'm already sitting there. Why not? Why do I have to wait for, because you post every 3 days, 6 a.m. your time, because you follow your stats. And I'm over here like, I haven't looked at them in 2 weeks.
Yeah. So when I started to think about that and go down that path, it was eye-opening how many signs were telling me this is the way. Have you seen Bruce Almighty?
Probably.
It's with Jim Carrey.
I was talking. So it's been a really long time.
I was talking to my friend Anna the other day, and I'll try to see if I can put like the video clip here. But if not, he is in his car and he's like got these prayer beads and he's talking to God and he's like, God, give me a sign. If I'm supposed to be doing this, give me a sign. And then everything in the road is like, turn around, stop, don't go this way. And he's continuously yelling at God, give me a sign. And it's like all the signs are there. That's how I felt for 3 weeks. All of these signs, everything just kept pointing to content creating, to the point like when I had a conversation with my mom and I was like, this is what's going on. Like I no longer have a job after April 30th, a little freaked out about it. Even she was supportive, where she was like, all right, have you thought about making content creating your full-time job? Which my mom's not a supportive person in that sense. In the fact that like she is always the type of person who is looking at the other shoe, just
the
like
devil's
you.
advocate. Yeah.
So she's
I
always
always try to come from a loving place where I'm like, look, you're not going to do anything that I say, but I'm just going to throw some things out there. I love how you put on your grounded skepticism. And I was like, that's such a nice way to put what I was actually doing.
Yeah. So that's my mom too. Like my mom and you are very similar in that sense, where she's always going to be the type of person who says, hey, have you thought about XYZ, whatever the situation is. So when she was like, maybe you should do this. And I told her, I was like, I don't like my job. And she's like, I know. It's been about a year that you have not enjoyed your job. And it just seemed like everything was going the way it was supposed to the point where I saw people in my comments asking me about the tape dispenser that I had picked up at the expo. And I was like, that's another way that I could incorporate things into life and layout designs. And immediately
I would like to point out that when I told you that your yes year was coming, you were like, no. And I said, no. Not in the same way that my yes year came, where like opportunities came and I was saying yes to everything. I was like, I think you're going to manufacture your success in a sense of retail product, digital product. Like you're focused on that. You're interested in that. And you were like, no. I'd like to point out that I have a mad set of skills when it comes to figuring out things. I'm not like psychic or anything, but just sometimes the tingly things start going and you didn't want to hear it. And I was like, okay.
No. Because I am also the type of person that if I start to think about those things, then I get hyper focused on it and I tend to not go well. Again, with my little bag.
Blows my mind that I think within like 5 minutes I had said yes to Bella and you were like, I don't know. And I was like, what do you mean you don't know? Like the chance to work together, not carved out on our own? Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was too that when I didn't make the design team last year, and that was so hurtful, putting myself out there again with the possibility of being hurt again, which again, it's no fault on the companies, right? They pick the best person for their company, right? But it was still hurtful. So thinking about the possibility of going through that pain again, I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I could do that, even if it could be good.
Feel free to cut this out if you want to. But when you were like, I'm worried that people are going to think that I've only got on the team because of you. And I was like, I wish I had that kind of pull anywhere because I would work with all of my friends. And I was like, girl, no. Like, no, absolutely not. I don't know who they're looking for, what they're looking for, why they're looking for. I don't know how anybody does what they do on their end. If somebody asks me to do something, I tend to say yes. And the fact that you were like, I don't know, I was like, what do you mean?
I do feel like I am the type of person who puts myself out there.
And then you get mad when people accept it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You didn't want to open the Facebook group. And I was like, you just spent a month building this thing on the back end. All pumped, all excited. And you would not open it.
No. Yeah.
And I was like, why?
Yeah. And it's so like today I uploaded a video. So we're recording this on May 8th, which is a Friday. Today was the last day to upload to the International Scrapbook Day challenge over at Doodlebug. You guys all know that I love me a Doodlebug layout. And I wanted to make sure that I got the layout in there because, again, chasing those analytics, I've got to make sure that I use those hashtags so that they're out there. So people who are searching for it, whether it's Doodlebug or, just somebody random being like, oh, Doodlebug's, put this contest out. Let me look for all the Doodlebug creations that have been made, trying to get new people on my channel. So I've done that for years. Anytime that there's a challenge with any major company, I am following those hashtags so that I can,
And then you get mad when they look at you. And I'm like, girl, you raised your hand.
Yes.
Now they're calling on you and you're like, I don't want to answer.
Yeah. Yeah. Because for me, I'm doing it to.
You're manufacturing your yes.
Yes. And
then when it works, you panic.
Right. But my intentions, I don't expect Doodlebug to be like, oh, look at Lisa over at Life and Layouts. I'm more expecting like this little, nobody over here who loves Doodlebug be like, oh, that's a really cute layout. Let me go look at her channel. Oh, she's got other Doodlebug stuff.
Whoever's
that's so cute.
Currently identifying as Miss Nobody, that was not intended to hurt anybody's feelings.
Yes. It was definitely not. I still feel like I'm a nobody. I'm definitely not Doodlebug. That's or the company.
So when we're recording like a month from now and she's like, so Doodlebug called me.
No, I doubt that. Doodlebug's like, I don't.
That's like a mystery. I don't know anybody that knows anything about them.
Yeah. Their design team members are just amazing. But like have no idea how that works at all. So let's see. So all right. So let's talk a little bit about the Bella Blvd Creative Team. The announcement went out right after National Scrapbook Day.
Monday or Tuesday,
yeah. And some amazing people on the team. super excited to start working. I have no idea why I was chosen to go first.
I think it's because of the National Scrapbook holiday kind of landing in the transition from one term to the next term. It can often be pretty chaotic. And unfortunately, you got assigned early.
Yes.
But you had the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Your layout was good.
It was. It was super cute.
Mine's due in 5 days and I haven't started yet. So,
well, so let's talk a little bit about that, because I think I mentioned it. I don't know where I mentioned it in the video, last podcast, whatever. I went to Disney and I was in that 4-day bubble, had so much fun. And I came out of that bubble and that layout was due 2 days later and I had not started it. I was a little stressed about that. But I got it up. And I think that recently, I don't know if it is being on the team or creatively growing, I don't know. But I feel like there's been a shift in the way that I think about things. So this layout hasn't even been recorded yet. The only thing that I've recorded was the wheel, because my next wheel. It's going to be Simple Stories Tinseltown, which is a Say Cheese Disney collection. And I haven't even pulled it from the shelf yet. So I haven't even done like any of the recording. But my immediate thought was, I wonder if I could do a non-Disney layout.
You're welcome.
So
it's infectious.
It is. And I think that I was recording, I've been editing this morning the layout that will probably go up before this podcast, where I'm using Simple Stories, 4 pieces of paper, none of their embellishments, and the entire layout has nothing to do with what the collection's about. And that was a very difficult layout because I only used 4 pieces of paper. I don't have any embellishments, and I didn't use a sketch. Like, yeah. So I was pretty excited about that one too. But
what is happening?
I know, right? I even mentioned it because I even do like a little front end part of it as well. And I think it turned out really cute. So how do you feel now that you've been on Bella Blvd's team for the last year, since I've talked, the good 20 minutes or so now? I want to get some information from you as well. How does it feel to be back on the team and to be asked to join another year?
Grateful. I don't remember if we had talked about it in one of the previous episodes, but I've noticed just different things that I've done here and there. Working for a brand is somehow like, yes, it's amazing and it's like super intimidating and you feel like, why are they looking at me? Why do they want me? That type of thing. The other side of that is there's like a level of like, okay, here's your stuff. Here's your schedule. This is the guidelines. And you're just kind of on your own. I like it. I've been on other teams that are just a little bit more like micromanaged and they want everybody to be like kumbaya and like stuff. It's like time suck kind of stuff. This is more like, it's kind of like your senior year of high school. You know what I mean? You're just, you know what's going on. You have all the tools to do it. As long as you turn your stuff in. Every single person that I've dealt with is amazing. Like inside company, cross companies, that kind of thing. Sarah Scraps is the creative coordinator for the design team at Bella, and she can do no wrong by me. I like to send her like my panic filled messages of like, hey, gonna be a day late. Which it's only because I don't know how the new term is going to be, but typically this, like, she makes this like schedule. It's like really easy to understand. Like, you know exactly what you're supposed to be doing. I like to rot on the weekend and everything's usually like due on Sunday and I'll just message her and be like, hey, I work on Mondays. It's done. I'll get it to you. But yeah, it's like not as stressful as I think I always imagined it being when I would be like applying. So I'm hoping that that's like the experience that you get as well. But like I said, usually that transition period between one term and another, sometimes things can be a little hectic. Plus, if you've never done it, sometimes it's like, okay, the simplest things you find yourself being like, do I really need to go ask the creative coordinator, or should I go like ask another design team member, where you're like, does this need a watermark? What size should my photo be? It's like the smallest things that you like get hung up on sometimes, but then like the first couple projects that you get under your belt, you're like, okay, I got this. Like, it's not that different. You do kind of start to settle into, and I'm wondering if you're going to get this way too, where I personally try to bridge my personal style and things that I would do if I bought this collection, and try to merge it into those like eye-catching, really marketing style, because I don't want to leave behind my little community people that love me for being weird. But I also want to do the brand well, you know? And then I have to remind myself I was picked up because of me, because of my style. So you just kind of like have to balance that in your head.
Yeah.
And like get through it.
Yeah. I feel like I have on here imposter syndrome, and we're going to talk about that. Let me throw this ball real quick.
Yeah. And it comes and goes, peaks and valleys. I'm very much in a valley right now where I'm just like, why am I here? Nothing's good. And it's not even like a full on reason. It's you're in your own head about stuff.
Yeah. And I think that even with the things that you've put out this year, I don't feel like anything has been something that I wouldn't have seen from you before you got on either one of the major teams. Like, I feel like all of your layouts, you have been very intentional in regards to making sure that it's still your style.
The first couple of times I would turn in a double, I was like, I didn't think to ask, like, can I do a double? Because I've always just done whatever size I needed to do. And I'm actually kind of excited that you're joining Bella, because I'm trying to think of Gloria. I think I've seen Gloria do a double. But they're few and far between. Like, I scrolled Doodlebug a couple weeks ago looking for just double inspiration, and I couldn't find anything. Like, I was scrolling deep. So it's not widely seen, I think, on brands, and I'm not really sure why, but now it's almost become like when I turn in my monthly projects for Simple Stories, it's almost always one's a double, one's a single. Not necessarily intentional, it just kind of is that way, and I just try to embrace it and be like, well, I'm repping the double page girlies, and now there's somebody else on Bella's team who's going to be doing the doubles.
Yeah. I remember reading the contract when I got it from Sarah.
We both sent her the same message. I was like, girl, what about the 12 by 24s? And she's like, what is wrong with you two? And she's like, it's implied. And I was like, we read.
Yeah. I think that
verifying.
Right. For me, when I read that, because
I knew you were going to have an issue, and I messaged her and I said, hey, you might want to either add 12 by 24 or just pop her a message and be like, you're good.
Yeah. Because I felt like if they were looking at all of my stuff, right? Like they
would know it's like 10% single.
Right. Yeah. So you have to be like, of course, that's why they chose me, because of the double page layouts, right?
Which, sidetrack, I don't know what it is. Photographing a double makes me want to jump off the bridge.
It's hard. It is very hard. Yeah. I even as somebody who does it all the time, it's funny to see what other people would see if they walked into my room as I'm trying to capture the double page layout as I stand on my step stool. And there's been times where I'm standing on my step stool and I'm not high enough that I'm like, I've got my foot on my desk so that I can like prop myself up to be even higher.
I move around my house. That's another thing that I've been like really struggling with is my photos, because I'm like, I can't turn this in. It doesn't look right. I can't put my finger on it. And you start like really just getting in on yourself about like, you know, and there's no, like, I can't pinpoint what am I doing that's different, that's making like my photos look different. The last ones that I turned in, I was like, okay, I think I figured it out. And I'm so embarrassed that I refused to like admit to like what the true issue was. And I'm like, eh, now I know.
So what do you think your favorite part of the team culture is?
Um, I don't know. It's like I said, it's this weird, it's not like an exclusive, we don't want to talk to you quiet thing. I think it's everybody's just kind of at this level of like most of the people are on multiple teams or they have classes or they travel and they do different stuff. Everybody's just kind of busy, but then when you do see interactions, it's like always supportive. People are resharing posts. Um, Everybody pulls their weight. Like a couple times I've seen, well, they'll put like, I think most people use Facebook groups, but they'll put like a thing saying like, hey, we have like an open block on the schedule. Can anybody step up and do this? Or somebody's traveling. Like I, I pulled some weight while some people were traveling, and I was just like, I don't go anywhere. It's fine. I'll make another layout.
Yeah.
Hoping like I'll get a break later.
Right. And I feel like,
sorry.
I was just going to say, just by the way that you're explaining it, towards the end of my career, there was a manager that I had who came from a call center management position into the position that she had when I left. And in call centers, you have to micromanage people because most of the time call center people are, very young, right out of high school or college. They don't have a really established work ethic. And so you kind of have to micromanage them a little bit. And when you move into a corporation where we were, where all of us had been in the careers for more than 20 years, I don't need you to micromanage me. I don't need you to tell me that I have to do X, Y, and Z by 9 a.m. It'll get done. Like I never didn't have my work done, but I'm not going to do it on anybody else's schedule but mine. And so if that meant, I did it later in the day or I did it early in the morning, it always got done. And so I feel like based on what you're describing, it's not the call center work. It's these corporate people.
In fact, like I felt bad. I think on 3 different times I had to email my like who I email for simple stories and be like, and I always title it like, hey, weird question. And it'll just be like something where I'm like, somebody's asked me, it's always like a video comment. And I'm like, okay, I understand the nosiness of the question because that is me too. Like I would love to know that answer. And then I'm like, okay, well, I don't know how can I answer this? How do I answer this? How do I be like, that's not your business, but I don't want to say that because that's rude. Like every time that I've had like a weird random question, I've gotten help on it. If I've had issues with like my photos, I was like, let me talk this through. And a lot of times, I think I had told you, I was like, the response that I got had enough like specific verbiage in it that I was like, oh, okay, I can go look this up. I can find what I'm trying to find on Photoshop. Like just that one word was enough for me to be like, this is a key. The support is amazing because I think that they understand the work that it takes us to make the projects. And then they're just taking the finished photos and able to use that as advertising and stuff, which I'm pretty sure is why most of the time you'll see design team members just getting completely spoiled. I cannot wait until you get that giant box. I remember opening it and being like, I'm going to film this. And I immediately closed it and was like, I have to go process this mentally because it's like overwhelming. And it's like when you get like an unexpected gift from somebody and you're just like, that's so nice. I don't know why you do that. And then you have to remind yourself that like they're setting you up for as much success as they possibly can so that you can set them up for as much success. It's like a continuous type of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let's shift a little bit from the Bella Blvd's design team and leaving corporate life and what that means. So I'm going to just give a little bit of information and then it's all over you in regards to the questions you want to ask. So to officially announce that as of May 1st, I am no longer in the corporate life. And I did LLC life and layouts last year for other reasons, not in regards to I'm going to be building a business. That was never the intention of LLCing it.
Wasn't it to make your taxes easier?
Yes, like that was the conversation that I had with my CPA last year with everything that happened with my granddad and the inheritance that I got. She was like, we need to offset a little bit, and the LLC will help with that for tax purposes and stuff. So that's why I did it last year. But I'm glad that that was there. And it was also one of those things that felt like it was a sign. Last year was putting that into place, because then I didn't have to do that this year. I could just seamlessly go into this new adventure. So May 1st, I was actually, I said this to a couple people that I'm like unemployed. And I was talking to somebody yesterday and he said, you're not unemployed. You're now a business owner and you need to accept that.
I
And
haven't
you
told
need
you. I
to-
said we need a better word than unemployed.
Yeah. And I think I couldn't process it that way. Like I kept saying, oh, I'm going to go down this fun adventure and I'm going to be a full-time content creator. But to rephrase it as I'm a business owner now, that was like, I don't know about that. But when he said that to me, he was like, you're a business owner and you need to be proud of the fact that you are now a business owner. And I was like, oh, so yes. So as of May 1st, I am a business owner. And I am super excited to have all of these little adventures that are starting to include the Life and Layout Designs, which has my Canva templates, my little letters and little words, which I love those things. Every time I use them on layouts, I use them on my very first Bella Blvd Creative Team layout, which I was kind of scared about that, but I reached out to Sarah and I was like, hey.
I mean, yeah, you're gonna get a pass because we're still waiting on the new collections should be coming. So
yeah. But when I talked to her, because again, she's super amazing. It was one of those things that I messaged her and I was like, hey, can I call you? Because this is a talking conversation, not a text conversation. And she was like, sure. And so I was like, I launched these things. You know that I did because she's in my group as well. So she saw that over National Scrapbook Day. And I was like, not only is the collection limited, right? My Life's 365. If you're focusing on just a certain month, right? You get the 2 pieces of paper, you get a couple embellishments and things like that. That means your titles are very limited in regards to that. The collections are amazing. Other collections, you have so many things to choose from.
It's a really good base.
Yes. And you get to expand on those things. And I was like, can I use this? And she was like, we don't have anything that's like that. And our requirement is to use, is it 95 or 90% Bella Blvd stuff?
I was going to say
95.
I was going to say 85 or 90. I don't.
Okay.
I did just print it.
Yeah. So either way, everything else on that layout was Bella Blvd except for my little letters. So I'm well within whatever the range is, whether it's 95 or 85 or whatever.
Yeah. And I think that's typical because you see that on like design team calls too, where they'll say like the majority of your layout needs to have like the brand.
Right. And so being able to put my little letters on a design team layout, and then I think the second layout that I put up, which was the one that went up today, the Bella Blvd layout that went up today, also had little letters. Actually, those had little words, which that was like, I love these things because that thing, I remember posting it in groups and for years and years and years, every once in a while, I'd post in a group, hey, does anybody know of a stamp that just has 2 and 3 letter words? Like, that's all I want. I don't want to look for little tile letters, which I love, but they always run out. You always run out of those.
So differently, because you know what I would have done?
What?
I would have just typed it up, colored the background, printed it out.
So before jumping down the hybrid scrapbooking path that I've gone down the last year, it never crossed my mind to do that because I didn't have a good printer. That changed a lot of things. And 2, I didn't have good quality paper that I was printing on. So it never looked quality like scrapbooking paper did, right? So it was always that struggle. So if you go back into all of these Facebook groups and search my name and search 2-letter words, you'll probably see a post every 2 or 3 years of does somebody create this? Can somebody do this?
Fine, then, I'll do it myself.
Yeah. And so it was when I started to create the little letters, which I was super excited about, I was like, hey, I can also create little words, which that is what I love. And that's something that I've been wanting for years. And to be able to do that and have that available, super excited. So I have the little letters, the little words, the Canva templates, and then I also have the scrapbook organization side of it, which just blew me away with the release and how many people have ordered those and just the excitement from the group. And I think one of the biggest things that I've really had to wrap my mind around is that I've spent a very long time building life in layouts. From the time that my channel started back in 2019 to growing to what it is now, to include the Facebook group and my Instagram and my Etsy shop. And now this collaboration with Sawdust by Smith is just amazing. And I think that being able to walk away from the corporate world didn't happen overnight.
You ran.
I did run. But it did not happen overnight.
I kind of feel like when you got the thing, you were like, they're not renewing my contract. All I could hear was, oh no.
Yeah. So I'm taking this path to finally bet on myself. I have been in the corporate world for 22 years. I have worked for somebody else for a very long time. And to go down this path and say, let's do it. Let's bet on myself and see what I can get done. And I have given myself a year. I've told all of my family members, everybody that is supporting me, that
you didn't tell me.
I'm going to give myself a year. If
that was on my question list.
Yeah. If it doesn't work, then I'll figure it out then. But I will tell you that Eli's not supportive. He does believe that we are broke. Even though we have had conversations.
I was dying when you kept telling me your stuff. And I was like, hey, I'm with him.
So at 14, or he's 15 now, we've had lots of conversations about saving and the importance of having a savings account and things like that. And I make him save 10% of any money that he gets. So he does get money from the dogs that we watch. He has a little dog that he walks around the block 3 times a week. He mows grass, things like that. All of that is, 10%. Even if it's, he gets $15 for mowing my grass, which I don't feel like is a lot, but still $1.50 goes into savings because I got to get him in that mindset. And so when I told him that I wasn't going to be working in the corporate world, his immediate thought was, we're broke. We're like, we don't have any money. We're poor. I think it's what he said. We're poor, not broke.
Okay, listen, I did my homework. I got my questions. We're already, by the time you edit this, at least 45 minutes in, and we haven't even gotten to
your
hot seat.
Yeah. So I had to have that conversation with him about the fact that I also have savings. Like, part of my paycheck goes into my emergency fund. And the reason that you're not going to feel like we are poor is because that emergency fund, that's what it's there for, is stuff like this when you happen to lose your job, or you're trying to find another job, or you're trying to make your business work, whatever that situation is. So he does worry about that, and he has anxiety like crazy. So that's a whole other story. But I think also he's not really liking the shift because I don't cook. We eat out a lot. And that was one of the things that I was like, we've got to start eating at home more. And he's like, I don't know if I like that. So
I'll send you some copycat recipes.
Yeah. Well, I made a recipe last night that I loved. It really tasted kind of like chicken pot pie, but I don't like peas and carrots. So it was made with broccoli and ranch seasoning, and it had like the chicken pot pie comfort to it, but like it was super easy to make.
The chicken cobbler thing?
Yeah, kind of. It probably.
Which I find hilarious because you've told me before the kid doesn't like his food mixed up, because I was like, my kid loves casseroles, and you were like, no,
he doesn't.
And he was like,
supper. What he said last night when we were eating was, I don't like broccoli in things. And I was like, but you like broccoli. Like it actually called for spinach. And I switched it out for broccoli because I know that you like broccoli better. He was like, yeah, but now the entire thing tastes like broccoli and I don't want it to taste like broccoli. He's also a kid that eats one thing, then the next thing, then the next thing.
I can't.
Yeah. I'm like, don't you get tired?
Mix it up and eat it.
Exactly. So we'll see. There's a lot of times that I have to like bring things out, but all right. So I'm now going to turn it over to you. It's all you.
Ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Guys? We're freeballing this. So I did tell her, I said, hey, now that you're of the unemployed variety, come to the show in your pajamas because that's half the time I drop a kid off.
I did.
I clock in.
I have my pajama bottoms. Here, I'll have to stand up. I got these. See it. It says friends.
Oh, those are cute. Oh, do you have to show her?
I got these
when fit. This is my large, tall men's t-shirt.
Love it.
I live in them.
I got these pajamas. Like I got the shirt on Amazon, but I got the pajama bottoms when I was out visiting you. I went to California.
Oh, that's right.
And I did the like studio backlot tour. And as I was like walking through the gift shop, I always try to think of like, what can I get, especially lounge clothes, because I love me some lounge clothes. What can I get that's going to like remind me of this tour? And we saw Central Perk. Like I had lunch at Central Perk and I got to sit on the orange couch, got to see the fountain and stuff. So I was like, I'm going to
send you the Amazon link to the pack of leggings that I work in. It's my uniform. Okay. Yes. I will say, okay, because you're the one that does the editing. If there's any question that you just think that's nobody's business, you have two options. You can cut it completely. You can leave the question in and you can say pass, which essentially tells people, I hear you. Respect the ask. No.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Okay.
It does, but you just scared the heck out of me.
I'm going to listen, people are nosy. Okay. I'm nosy. I don't know how much you want to put yourself out there. You put your personal business out there way more than I do.
I do.
So, yeah. I am going to jump down because I feel like you kind of already touched on it, but I had put on here basically, is there a benchmark or a threshold in your mind that will indicate to you if you're being quote unquote successful? And if that full-time content creating is in fact supporting you financially? Because I saw it with the first video podcast. You were like, it didn't get enough views, so we're not doing it. And I was like, it's been 4 hours. Like, I know you have things in your mind. And that's why I said you hadn't told me the 1 year thing.
Mm-hmm.
You had just said like, well, I got money from granddad. Like I have savings. Like I have and I'm like, my instant is I'm like, don't eat the hoard. The hoard is for a true emergency. You don't eat the stash.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, I'm gonna eat the stash. And you're trying to buy a house.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, where's the sign on the side of the road that says keep going?
Right. So I have given myself a year, which I said, and in that year, I have a certain dollar amount that I expect myself to earn to survive.
Monthly, quarterly, yearly.
So I actually broke it down in regards to this is how much my bills are.
Is there a spreadsheet?
There is. But I mean, did you expect anything else? Like,
no,
seriously.
but I listen, you need a t-shirt. Is there a spreadsheet?
I do have a t-shirt that says I have a spreadsheet.
No. Is there a spreadsheet?
Is there a spreadsheet? So just on a side note too, this morning I was like, I need merch. So that path is also all these like avenues.
I'm not surprised. I shouldn't be surprised.
So, but my merch is, my thought is creating something that is just like a scrapbooking shirt that is more like predominant with scrapbooking. Like if you go to expos and stuff, you'll see those like really cute shirts and it'll have like a really cute, fun scrapbooking
and then
thing
you can
on.
put like your logo on the sleeve or something.
Yeah, like something
to be
small.
like life and layouts.
Right. Yeah. I mean, However, I did, this is like so far off tangent. I had this dream the other day that I was standing in line at like a Scrapbook Expo event. So I was like, not really standing in line. Like I was standing, like going through stuff. And I look like not the person behind me, but the person behind them had the Life and Layouts logo. And obviously, like she had stuff in her hands and there was like another person there. And I just caught like the head of the owl. And I was like, oh, that's my owl. And I went back and I was like, no, that can't be it. And I looked again and it was big old Life and Layouts. Like it was it was like, oh, that's where the whole idea of like I need merch came from in this dream. But yeah, so the thought process of like creating a scrapbooking shirt where it's just a cute scrapbooking saying, but then having my logo somewhere.
I still want to remind you that we're on the benchmark question.
Yes. Okay, so because we're gonna go back to the spreadsheet thing. Like I'm gonna make a logo or make a design that says something about spreadsheet and have it. So anyway, so I broke down all of my bills and how much I have to make daily to pay my bills. That's what went on the spreadsheet.
Daily?
Daily. Mm-hmm.
That seems like a bad idea for somebody with your
anxiety
thought process. Yes, because the first day you don't hit that. So that's why I would go quarterly because of some things we'll get to later.
Right. So that was how I broke it down, was this is how much I have to make daily. And I got that idea from, there's actually a local business who in no way would I ever do this, but she got onto TikTok and was like, we're going to post every single day how much money we have made. And I was like, you go, girl. And I know, like I could not do that, but it's like a restaurant. It's like a barbecue place and it's called Honeybees. It's an amazing barbecue place. If you are in the Davenport area, Central Florida, visiting Disney or anything like that, highly recommend that you make that trip over to Honeybees. We'll post all the information below. Amazing barbecue. But her TikTok has been that. And that was probably earlier this year, maybe January, February. No, it had to have been last year that she started posting that.
I've seen the people that do like the daily, this is how much I made on like side hustles and stuff, which is interesting. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, I don't want to tell people.
Well, so she stopped doing the daily after a while and she started doing monthly. And she was like, this is what we have to make monthly to cover our cost. And anything over that is obviously profit. And it's been amazing to watch them grow because they are a small town restaurant and individually owned. It's her and her husband and her little boy that's always in the restaurant. Just an amazing team, right? So my county shows up for things like that. Like there's a restaurant that opened, I'm in so many tangents and this is why I have a spreadsheet and things. But
I should send you my notes when we get done and you'll be like,
what?
What's wrong with you?
There's a restaurant that's here locally that opened up like 2 weeks ago, which I haven't had a chance to go because every single time I'm like, oh, I'm going to go to that restaurant today. I'll go on their Facebook page and it'll be like, we're sold out for the day. We don't have any food. I'm like, because our town shows up for small town.
Those are some of my favorite accounts to watch on TikTok.
Yeah.
So, okay. So then I'm going to roll into the other one that I have on here because I feel like you're kind of already touching on it. So just like every other aspect of this hobby, entering this hobby, taking it to a side hustle, you tackle things with intention. You do extensive research and planning. What have you already done and are planning to do to set yourself up for somewhat of a sturdy foundation, whether it's daily, monthly bills, insurance, kid expenses? Viewers are going to want to know whether it's out of true concern or just being nosy.
Yeah. So the process of taking care of larger bills that I could take care of, so I didn't have to worry about those monthly. So things like
rent.
Well, rent is, yes, that's a big one. But things like car insurance, you can pay it monthly or you can pay it every 6 months. I did make those larger payments of because I have the money currently, let me make those bills so that I know that I have car insurance and I know that I can not have to worry about that one less bill. So that's in place. The being successful, and like I said, I have that certain amount of dollar that I have to make every day, and I have officially been, it's been 1 week, so today is Friday officially. I feel like, well, the first was, it's Friday, I feel like Monday was my first full-time day where I actually like got up and worked a full.
She's been sending me itemized lists of what she's done for the day, and I'm like,
Yes.
welcome to the office, girl. I'm
Yes.
not making any money, but hey, welcome to the office.
This is what I'm doing. Yeah. So it's been a full week. So it's been 1 week that I have officially been a, before I was saying,
say it.
A business owner.
No.
And
content creator.
A full-time content creator. It's been 1 week that I've been a full-time content creator.
I just visibly watched you try to not say that. And I'm like,
yeah. And I can tell you that this first week I did not make my daily goal of money, but I've also been in the sense of like, I'm giving myself 3 months of being okay with not meeting that daily goal.
Listen,
because
hear me out hard. Okay. This is where I start to get like irritated. You have to transition into like a quarterly goal, because places like AWIN, you can't get paid daily. And you can't even track your daily thing because it goes through like different phases where it's like the person paid for their order, but it hasn't hit the commission thing, and it hasn't been processed where it's not being returned, and then it hasn't hit, like there's like 5 stages back there before it's like yours.
Yeah.
Girl,
And
quarterly, please.
And I also have it set up on AWIN, which for those of you who are listening and do not know what AWIN is, which we've talked about it in previous ones.
Link that episode.
Yeah. AWIN is the company that is available for content creators, regardless of what you are. So whether you're scrapbooking or, just some random content creator, they allow you to link to companies, and the companies pay you a commission at no charge to the customer, that percentage of your sale.
It's the influence affiliate.
Right. The affiliate links that we mentioned in all of our, like every time that we say there's a link below in our description, that's what we're referring to. If you click on that link and purchase an item, whether you're purchasing the item that we're talking about. So, right, like if I'm saying, oh, I used scrapbook.com's 1mm foam adhesive strips, and you go down and purchase that using my link, then I get a very, very small commission. Let's put that out there. It is tiny.
I do. Listen, I do want to almost thank you right now, because you are literally just leading yourself through my questions. Just rolling into them.
All right. So, but I feel like I'm also not answering your questions.
It's fine. Because I feel like now's a good time for you to kind of explain how viewers and followers can help you on this journey. Because I think that there's going to be the ones who say, oh my God, she's stupid. She needs to go get a job. This is not my responsibility. And then you're going to have the ones that are like, hey, I got extra income. What can I do? Or, hey, I don't have extra income. What can I do? Which is, there's 2 sides of that. How can people that have the spending ability support you? And then how can those don't?
Right. And I'm going to start with, if you do not have extra income, I am not expecting anyone to spend their money on me if they don't have the money to spend, right? There are ways that you can support a content creator, whether it's myself or any other content creator that you love, without spending a dime. Watching our YouTube videos all the way through is one way. Hyping our videos, commenting, and liking, what you're doing when you do those things is you're telling YouTube, hey, this is good content, and maybe somebody else would be interested into it. And YouTube is then going to push that content out. So by hyping it, commenting, liking it, when you watch TikTok, which I have started posting over there, very little though, because that thing whole scares me over there. But you'll see people who will say, like all my buttons over here, right? And
yeah.
What you're doing is letting the platform know this is good content. And content creators have figured that out. So there's times where I'm like
on Instagram, a lot of the things you can do, like maybe you share your own stuff on Instagram. and you have followers and you follow other people, you can send someone's post to a story, which then shows up in your stories, which then helps their ripple get into other ponds, which then brings other people to you. And maybe 10 people come to you, but one of those people is shopping.
Yeah.
So you've got,
so there's lots of ways to support a content creator without spending a dime. And
it's all engagement.
Yes. And that is extremely important. I've also realized that I was doing some research in regards to it, and I have always released my videos at 6 a.m. But then I was watching this video about content creating, and it was saying that actually the way that you do it is better. Because
say it again.
The way that you do it is better because what the video was saying was basically that when you post something, the first, I don't know how long, few minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, I don't know, the first like set of time that the video is out, that's when YouTube or whatever the platform is looking at it to say, is a lot of people coming to this and watching this video? And if so, then it continuously pushes it out. So if you're the type of person who posts your videos and then immediately goes into your Instagram account, the Facebook groups, and you're putting your information out there and people are seeing that, and then they're pulling in and going and watching it, then YouTube is like, oh, there's a lot of people watching this right now. Let's push it out some more.
I'm dying. So I do it because, listen, I'm sitting here and I'm in marketing mode. I'm gonna do all the things, unless it's something that's scheduled for somebody else.
Yeah,
I love that you're like, okay, so maybe I shouldn't be posting at 6 a.m.
Maybe. And so I think one time, I don't remember what it was. There was a layout or a video that went up. Oh, I do know. It was one of my releases. You do, as a content creator, have to wait, or it's recommended that you wait until, like, you set it as scheduled. Wait for it to do all of the back end stuff, like make sure that you're not copywriting anybody, make sure that the ads are good to go. And then once it tells you, it gives you that little green check mark, it's good, everything's done, we've done it on our end, it's a good video that's not going to be any issues, go from scheduled to immediately publish. And then from there, because also
I would like to point out that you yelled at me for doing that.
Because before the research that I had done said to do it this way, and now apparently YouTube has changed stuff. So yes, that is the one way, without any money whatsoever, you can support me by watching my videos, liking them, commenting them, hyping on them.
Pretty much any social media platform you're on.
Yes.
If there's a share button, if there's a comment, if there's a like, if there's anything.
Right.
It causes ripples, and then the more ripples go into other ponds and bring other people. It helps, and it doesn't cost anybody anything other than some time. And if you're already doom scrolling, you might as well have some happy doom scrolling, I guess.
Yeah. And then if you are out and about, like at a crop or where other people who would also enjoy scrapbooking, bringing up my content in that manner as well, right? Like the same thing, sharing it, but also doing it face to face, right? If you're at a crop, you'd be like, hey, who are you guys watching on YouTube? Because Life and Layouts has got some pretty awesome double page scrapbooking going on, So I don't expect you to do that with like non-scrapbookers, because that's another thing that you and I have discussed a lot, is that I don't want subscribers just to have a number. I want subscribers.
It needs to be. Yeah, because like one of my daughter's friends was like, I'll subscribe. And I was like, no, honey, I don't.
Yeah.
No. I want people who want to be here.
Right. I want people who are interested in mine. So I'm not expecting you to, go to your mom group and who no one enjoys scrapbooking, and you know that, right? And you're like, oh, yeah, because
the sub doesn't count unless the sub is watching. And I'm wondering almost if YouTube is shifting more into like how on TikTok, if you let's say you follow somebody, which is the same as subscribing. if you see their video on your FYP, which is like the open world scrolling, they earn more on that view than if you are on your following tab and you're watching your subscriptions. So I almost wonder if YouTube is starting to do the same thing, where a new viewer who's not subscribed to our channel pulls a heavier weight.
Yeah. Yeah. So those are ways that you can support myself in this new journey, or any content creator, right? Like, we always want to make sure that these podcasts are not just Lisa and Nicole. If you want to support another content creator, if there's somebody else who you enjoy their content more, please go support them as well. Because while I'm putting this information out there, right, we don't know what other content creators are or are not doing, or how they are funding their hobby, or they're trying to make a go out of it. And whatever the situation is, support the people, because at the end of the day, this hobby is only going to stick around because we continue to support each other.
Yes.
So that's the way you can do it for free.
Okay.
In regards
for some, let me know when you want the quick ones.
Okay. Well, so let me finish answering your question. If you want to support me by, giving me money.
Here's my GoFundMe.
Yes. Well, so I have the Etsy shop, and in the Etsy shop, I have the little letters and the little words, which I have a video explaining what that is. You can, I'll link it below in the show notes. So
and
you
it's
can go,
digital product. She's got
it's
digital and physical, two different.
Yes. So I have that product that you can go, obviously the Canva templates, which I've talked about many times. I'll also link that tutorial below as well. With the physical products, that is a new adventure that I have teamed up with Sawdust by Smith, because he's already established. And I will tell you that there have been several conversations with him that is like, girl, I didn't expect this. Like, I didn't expect this many orders this quickly. And yesterday he was like, I have to get ready for my own show this weekend. So hopefully nothing comes in today or tomorrow, so that I
was going to say, can't he pause or put like I've seen on a lot of those websites where it'll say like, nothing's being manufactured during this time. So if you place an order, there's like a delay.
Yeah. And so he has 10 3D printing machines. So at any given time, he can run at least 10 items, if not more, because there's a lot of times if the item is smaller, he can put multiple items on the bed. And that works fine for the simple colors, like the plain colors. He can't do that with the rainbow. He explained it. And again, that boy is super smart and has so much expertise that he explained it to me, and it went. All I know is that he cannot put multiple rainbow items because it will not look good, whatever the technique is about it. So I have that, and we're expanding that as well. Right now, we just have the tape dispenser and the box. Let me get those so that I could show them to you.
I was going to say, you're touching on the, I was going to ask you if there was anything on the horizon for the 3D printed tools and stuff.
Yes. Okay. So the first item, this is what got the ball rolling, was the tape dispenser that I purchased at the expo, not this one. And I reached out to the lady, and she wasn't able to provide me with a link to get out to you, because that was my first intention was, hey, you've already created this, let's do it. So we had to obviously change some things up. We changed like the way that it looked so that we didn't infringe on copyright issues, as well as there's a ton of these on Etsy. Mm-hmm. So many things. And then we also added my little logo down there. It is so cute. Look at that little owl.
You have to pop in the photo. You already had somebody buy one and it's on her desk.
Yes, that too. Super excited. And then on the back, it says Life and Layouts back here.
Oh, that's cute.
So this is the first item. And then as I was
can he make me one that's dumpster shaped?
Let me have a conversation. I bet he could. But I bet he could make you this as a dumpster.
Okay, I saw that one. I like, because I don't have that much room on my desk. I like a long, skinny.
So this is, we're going to get there. So let me explain what this one is. I don't know, the item over there. Do you have yours from Rochelle? The clear plastic one? If not, I can get up and get mine.
No, it's in a kit. No.
So then I had gotten this from Rochelle's scrap room crop. Super cute. Loved it. And it was sitting on my desk, and I was having to cut my fun foam in half to fit in here. And so just randomly, I was like, can you make this 5.5 inches? Because that's how much these are. These are 5.5 inches wide. Can you make that?
Yeah, because I think I had told you my journal strips. Well, no, it's not the journal strip. Look, I have to cut these. I only have 2 left. The squares from scrapbook.com, like I put them in my thing and they
curl. Yeah. So we made this that is essentially this. And I can't tip it over because has a bunch of stuff in it. But it's a divided box. But it is 5.5 inches long. So if you use fun foam like me, this fits in the center. It also is holding currently my stamping block. I've got some washi tape here, my journal strips, and some pens. And then this little one that's empty is where my scraps of this goes when I start to cut it. So on my desk, look how cute they look together. So cute. And we are working towards creating one of these that's going to match. So if you want to have a flat container, and we're going to have 2 sizes. So it'll have the smaller one as well. We have created a Google form for that as well, which I'll link it in the show notes. And that Google form is, tell me what you want, because this whole life and layouts designs with Sawdust by Smith, which is a very long title, but the whole point is that we want to create scrapbooking organization made by scrapbookers. So a lot of the ideas that we've seen, because it's already posted in my Facebook group, I put it in the YouTube video as well. Let me know what you would like to see. It's those things of, I have this and it's amazing and I love it, except for this little tiny piece. So for you, I have this and I love it, but I have this much space and I want it really long, right? And so then we can create things that would work for the scrapbooker. And Philip is the type of person that he made this comment to me the other day, and I was like, it makes so much sense, because he does vendor events, right? So he goes to these events and he has a booth set up and he makes things and he tries to make things that he thinks people are going to buy, right? So this weekend he's at an event tomorrow, which is Mother's Day weekend. So he tried to make things that he thought people would buy for their mom. And he was like, but to have somebody tell me this is what I want, and then for me to be able to create it and produce it and send it out, and they actually want the things that I'm creating, that's a whole other excitement for him. So we have the Google form, and that's a way that you can support me. Buy my stuff. Buy my stuff. So things in the horizon that we're hoping for. So obviously we have the Google form for the 3D printing stuff that we could have. I mentioned it before, like I want to do merch. So I would love your ideas of, like, from the group, right? What do you want to see on a shirt? Like, what's your ideas? The one that I thought about this morning as I was like creating something, or like, because I try not to doom scroll. I try to be like always working. I was thinking about how Eli just has his camera roll, right? And that comment that he made to me the other day about, I mean, it's not the other day, it's a while ago, about, can you print a picture, like the actual real life picture, right? So the shirt that I want to design, this thought was, your life deserves more than a camera roll. And so that's like kind of giving nod to him with that whole comment of, can you print pictures? Because our life is more than the photos on our phones, and then having, my logo on it as well. So hopefully that's coming soon. That is an idea that literally...
You don't want some podcast t-shirts?
Yes,
that's caricatures.
Hear me out. Yes, that is another one.
I look like Pigpen and you're all shiny and clean.
Yeah, so the merch that I want to create is the life and layouts with some fun scrapbooking ideas. I want to create a spreadsheet one, and I want to create something that is geared towards the podcast. So for those people who do want to support us in that way and is perfectly okay with wearing, scrapbooking shirts everywhere, because I'm that type of person.
Which I'm gonna ask you real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Have you looked into monetizing the podcast? I know we had talked about it before.
So the podcast is monetized on both of our channels. So we do get a small commission for that, just simply because both of our channels are monetized. We're not there in Spotify or Apple with our views. So that's another way that if you want to help us get monetized over on the podcast platform, is to watch us over there as well.
Is there like a follow count that you have to hit, or
a follow count and hours watched or listened?
Are we? Give me a percentage. How far off are we?
We're trending upwards. Like, it's one of those that I
try not to ask because it makes me a little uncomfortable when I hear about like how many people are listening to me just
ramble.
Word vomit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have to be like, no.
Yeah. So it's one of those that I feel like I'm kind of letting that not be in the forefront of my mind.
I am shooketh.
I know. But it's the thought of like, I am the same thought process that I had back in, 2019 when I started my YouTube channel, just grinding and getting the work done, and we'll get there. And it's trending. Like, it's going upward. We're getting more people, we're getting more subscribers, but it's just going to take time. It's going to take time.
Because like YouTube sends you like weekly and monthly recaps, and I think you said you get like a Spotify one. You sent me a screenshot and you were like, it says that we're number whatever in this category. And I was like, okay, great. Thanks for sending me that. Send me that again. I was like, I don't know how to process this. I don't know what that means. That could be like that. I mean, that could be like you're number one out of a group of two. Like, yeah.
So I think the category was scrapbooking, which, I mean, if you search scrapbooking podcast,
there's professional shows. That's why I was like, don't send me that again.
There are professional shows, and we weren't number one. I think we were number 3.
I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah. But if you take a look, there's not a lot of scrapbooking podcasts that are currently being produced on podcasts and like on Spotify and Apple Podcasts on the regular basis, right?
I can only think of 2.
Yeah, there's 2 that are out there that are being produced. But like, I feel like, is it scrapbook.com? They have one, but I don't think that they're current with theirs. There's a ton of them on there, and you can go back and watch or listen to all these different podcasts from scrapbook.com. But I don't think that they're still putting the podcast out weekly. So that's one of those things where, yes, there are a lot of scrapbooking podcasts out there, but there's not a lot of podcasts that are being created on a regular basis.
I love that I ask you a simple question of, are we going to be monetized to help you? And it's like 10 minutes.
That is who I am.
This is going to be a 2-hour episode.
We're at an hour now.
All about Lisa, which I love. Okay. What do you consider to be a sign of success? The pivot of that is, what is a sign of failure that will trigger you to say, I need to pivot and do something different?
So I think that the trend upward is what I am looking at right now, which I have seen the trend upward even in the last 3 weeks. Because, I watch this daily. I have seen my monetization go up significantly. Like at 150% is what it's trending at right now. Yeah. And one of the things that I did start doing, which I want to put this information out there because I think we had talked about it before, where both of us put the ads at the very beginning of the episode of any, layout, the share that we do. And there's also the option to do a mid-ad roll. And when you check that box, YouTube has to do its thing, right? It figures out where the best spot is to put it. And it'll come back with like 5 ads. And I'm like, no, I'm not that creator. I'm not ever going to put 5 ads on a 15-minute video. However, I have started doing mid-roll ads. If my videos are more than 20 minutes, I will put 1. I will only put 1. For like the podcast, our videos are over an hour. So my mind is every 15 minutes putting in an ad, simply because I feel like that's normal. Like if you're watching a TV show, not now because we don't have ads anymore, but like before, it'd be 15 minutes, you'd get an ad.
If you're on the lower tier, you still have ads.
Yeah, that's true. So I have started putting mid-roll ads. But I don't think that I've ever, since I've started doing this, I don't think I've had more than a 30-minute video. So going over the 15 minutes.
I would say maybe the wheel ones are longer.
Yes, those are usually the ones that
did you know? I don't know if we talked about this in that episode. Did you know that the mid-roll ads is where the money's at?
Yeah. Yeah, that's where you get more. And I think it's because they're putting in 5 ads in a video.
So I don't know if people appreciate when you have like a creator that, you know, like if I put a 10-minute video, I'm not putting a mid-roll ad. That feels
icky.
Yeah, and I'm kind of with you on the like it's got to be a longer video to where somebody might naturally need to take a break.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so 20 minutes is my minimum, and that has been what I've seen the monetization increase because I've started to add those. Not every video, more than 20 minutes, you get one ad. Like I said, if it gets to the 45-minute mark, then you would have 2 ads because it's I haven't gotten there yet. I struggle with like trying to get a
so then
out.
Are you considering a downward trend as a signal of quote unquote failure, or I need to pivot something? Like if you look in your analytics and you see that what's that term that they have back there where like it tracks when they leave your video? If they're leaving your video at that mid-roll ad, are you gonna consider taking it out or leave it in? Or
so here's the thing. And I need you to get your shocked face ready because this is going to blow your mind, okay?
Oh my God. You're holding out on me.
I have given myself a year in the sense of like, if this doesn't work in a year, I am going to try something else. But I wholeheartedly believe that I am going to be successful. Oh, like I have no anxiety. I don't know. You know, that's not me at all. Like I have a lot of anxiety, but in this, everything that has happened in the last 3 weeks, month now, everything is telling me this is where I'm supposed to be. This is what I'm supposed to do. I'll just run behind
you with my bucket full of anxiety and be like, what about this? What about this?
Yeah. So there's a lot of I don't have this is when I'm going to stop and I have failed. And the year mark is the only thing that I am having in my mindset that if I can't pay my bills in a year, if I can't cover the bills, and we have scaled back a lot already, like we've already kept in mind what we need to do to make sure that we're able to pay our bills. But if I can't cover my bills in a year, then I will start to think about what I need to do. But right now, I am living in this is where I'm supposed to be. And I can tell you that, like I said, it's been a week, right? And this is what my life entailed before this week. I would get up at 5:30, get Eli up. I would kind of hang out.
You're cheating on my questions.
I'm sorry. I would hang out, while he gets ready. So it takes him, about 20, 25 minutes to get ready. His bus stop is not in a safe place for him to walk, and it's 5 to 6 o'clock in the morning, right? So I do drive him to the bus stop. And I will tell you that as a high school parent, and I sit down there with 5 other high school parents as the kids wait in our car, like I feel validated that I'm doing the right thing because it's a very busy street that his bus stop is on. So I take him to the bus. Before, I would come back and go back to sleep because I didn't have to be to work until 8. So I would go back to sleep until 7:45, and then I would get up and clock into work and start working. This past week, I have not gone back to bed.
I was going to say, okay, so I had put in here, how is your daily routine taking shape? And are you struggling yet?
Yeah. So right now I get up, get him, ready and get us out and to the bus stop. I come back and immediately start doing work, whether that work is creating a layout. Cause I don't know if you've noticed, but I've had a daily layout go up every day this week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But that was simply because I had a Bella Blvd. I had Kelly Bell.
Which that's why I was like, okay, those have to be design team. Like she can't pick the date because I'm like, girl, push that out because you're now you're going to get yourself into this thing where you're
right. And that was
daily.
Yeah, no, it wasn't daily content. I had Bella, then I had Kelly Bell, and then I had today was the last day to enter for the Doodlebug contest, which I didn't have to do it. Like it wasn't a requirement, but I wanted to chase those hashtags, right? I wanted to have it up before the contest ended so that it would be a part of that. But no, I will be going back to 3 days. But it has been creating content, whether that's, in my room. The first day, which this has never happened, I created the layout, edited the video, did my voiceover, edited that, and uploaded it all in one day. I was like, this is amazing. I remember this week I was sitting on my couch. It was like around lunchtime. So I was taking my lunch break, but I was sitting on the couch sewing and I was watching TV. And the thought, this is my life and I can't believe that I get to do this full time, and how exciting that was just overwhelming happy.
Okay.
Of being able
to. Have you considered how you're going to manage your expectations and the potential for future burnout?
So I'm still trying to pace myself in regards to
girl, you hit it.
I did.
Woke up at 6 a.m. to a whole list of I've done all the things, and I'm like, I haven't brushed my teeth yet.
Well, okay, there is a 3-hour difference between you and I. So your 6 a.m. is my 9 a.m. And that was one of the exciting things. Before it was, I'm going back to sleep because I dread going to work and I'm going to get another hour and a half sleep before I have to clock in, to I'm going back because I'm excited to do this. And it's not, so Monday was super exciting, right? Like I did a ton of things on Monday. This morning, it was a kind of less lazy day, which I also feel like that's how it kind of felt when I enjoyed my job at corporate. It was Monday, Tuesday, got a ton of work done. Friday, you just kind of coasted into the weekend, right? Like I'm going to do what I need to do, but yeah. And then also the fact that I do have more free time now, in the sense, because before I was pulling in 8 hours in the corporate world, and then I was doing 8 hours in my room, whether it was editing or whatever, 3 or 4 times a week.
Yeah, you have no chill.
No, and so
your schedule is throwing me off, because typically when I'm crawling into bed, I'm sending you something and you answer right away. Last night, and there was a couple nights ago, I sent you something and I was like, where is she? You still hadn't replied in the morning, and I sent you the
you awake
gif. I was like, what is happening over there?
So I have this week, because I haven't been going back to sleep for that hour and a half, because I haven't been taking my lunch break afternoons naps, instead of taking an hour to do whatever for my lunch break, I work from home. So I would take, a 45-minute nap and then eat for 15 minutes. And that would be so taking two naps a day, right? I haven't been doing that. I have truly been going from 5:30 in the morning, that at, 9 or 10 o'clock, I'm like, I'm exhausted. I'm going to bed. Whereas before it was 1 or 2 in the morning.
Good. I'm glad, because you would be texting me. And so I'm like, it's 1 a.m. at your place.
Yeah. So I have felt like I've had a better work-life balance, because I was going to say,
are you trying to not burn out?
Yeah, I have tried to make sure that, so one, super excited about, but also, oh my goodness, I'm really out of shape. Every day this week I have worked out, which I wasn't doing before either. And I'm not doing anything extensive. I'm just starting out slow, because I'm
hit or miss, because when I work out, I do in the morning, and I usually slot a day that there's a video to watch. So right. I'm not bored out of my mind.
Yeah.
And usually you're blowing up my phone while I'm trying to use it for my app. And your schedule's been very lately, and it's wrong.
Yeah. So I feel like I do have a better work-life balance, in the sense of I am still putting in probably 10 to 12 hours a day right now. But that was just because this week was crazy with the design theme stuff. Also, I wanted to mention that somebody in my comments, I'm not going to name names, but somebody in my comments gave a sad emoji and was like, oh, super excited about your design team on Bella Blvd, but your wheel thing is going to be affected. No, not at all.
I felt bad because I was like, I wonder if this person is assuming that we have like similar work styles where like the more work I take on for other people, the less like my own series like kind of falls off. And I bet you that she probably thought that.
Yeah.
Which, okay. Are you starting to feel any stress relating to the pivot of sharing what you love, what you use, so things like the wheel and different series and stuff that you do, to being a little bit more marketing heavy with design team projects, with the Etsy store? Like, what's your thought process on trying to like balance those? Because they're two very different things. I feel like one, you're coming from a very, this is what I love, this is why I'm using it type of thing. And then the other is, you know, trying to sell the stuff that you're making. And then you're trying to sell Bella for Bella.
Right. So I feel like it's going to be interesting to see what the Bella layouts look like on my end, because I do have some ideas in regards to how I want to pursue that. I mean, obviously we have our contract in regards to like what is required of us, but I also do feel like we have some creativity ability to be able to put our own spin on it, because if you take a look at the creative team, there are people there for a reason, right? There are people
I was
there.
going to say, I'm hoping that if you looked at my year's worth of projects, that they don't look different than what I would normally put out.
Right. And I feel like regardless of who's on the team, right, they're there for a reason, right? There's a person there who is really good at making reels. That is her
we
job.
all have on the schedule. It's like, the way that she maps it out, it's just, it makes sense. You're like, yes, that you can visually see people's strengths.
Right. And so I feel like with that, obviously following the requirements that I have, but I also feel like there's a reason why I was selected, and my style, while there's still that imposter syndrome, there's still that like, I don't know what is great about my style, about what they love about it, but there's something there that they do. And I feel like, and this is my own thoughts. I have no confirmation whatsoever from Bella in regards to this, but I feel like the digital part of it and the hybrid part of it played into what they enjoyed about it, because I'm sure that they didn't just look at the layouts that were given to them. I'm sure that they looked at other layouts
that's always my first question. Like when given an opportunity, I'm always like, what'd you look at?
Right. Yeah.
There's so much. What were you looking at?
Yeah. And I feel like the hybrid scrapbooking, this started with Kelly Bell Designs and the layouts that I've created for the Disney ones, but it has spilled over into everything. Have you watched my Doodlebug layout today?
No, I got on here at 8 a.m.
Oh, that's true.
It's almost 10 a.m. I've been here. Yeah. Didn't do my workout today.
So, do I have it on my desk? Because I want to show you. I did show you the...
I think you made the teeth really big.
I did make them really big. Over there. All right. These guys, the hybrid part of it, being able to print these out much larger. So I'm going to compare it to the Bella Pop here. You can see it, right? This is what I'm loving about hybrid scrapbooking, is the fact that I needed something over here to fill this space. I went over to Lori Whitlock's website because I think she designs for Bella Blvd. I don't know why her website has it, but I assume that's what it is.
For Bella or Doodle?
I'm sorry, for Doodlebug. Yes,
I was Doodlebug. Like, I think Stephanie does all the design.
Okay. So, for Doodlebug, Lori Whitlock's website, I'll link it below. You can go and find Doodlebug images. So I'm assuming she designs for them, or she has something where she's able to do that, right? So you can go and
might be hosting the files.
Yeah. You can go and purchase these images for your Cricut or Silhouette. When you purchase the images, they are regular Cricut or Silhouette images. I could have printed white tooth, black background to have the eyes, gray strings, red, pink heart, right? Little cheeks right there, right? I could have printed all of them separately and put them together as a traditional item that you print out with your silhouette or your Cricut. You can also print and cut them, which is what I did. This is what I love about hybrid scrapbooking is this collection is super cute, but they have to design a collection that's going to meet the masses. And so when they created Happy Healing, they have a tooth section or a dentist section. They have a hospital section. They have all these little tiny sections. I saw the tooth section and created like 3 layouts with it, and I don't have any teeth left on my embellishments. So I go and print one out. And that ability to be able to say, yes, I am creating my own things with the little letters and the little words. All right. So the joy that I have in regards to like hybrid scrapbooking and using the items, I'm hoping that it comes across as this is something that I really do use and something that I feel like as a scrapbooker, we're lacking in this community. And so I'm hoping that that's the way it comes across, and I'm hoping that that's what people are seeing, as opposed to she's made this shift and now she's all about
sellout.
Yeah. I'm hoping that people see it that way. If they see it as a sellout, then I mean, I don't have any control over that.
I think I know the answer to this. This may be one of the ones that you decide I pass or cut out. Do you have any fears related to what other creators in our community will think or say when you start mentioning that you are full-time content creating as your financial job now? Like, can you put those thoughts to the side and really just you do you and focus on your goals, your community, your place in this community, and how that looks for you?
That's a fine line to. So let me think about how I want to say this.
I knew that one was because I know some of how you feel about that. And I think it's inherent to sharing online that you can't help but compare yourself to people, and you can't help but wonder, if I'm comparing myself to them, are they comparing themselves to me? What are they thinking? What am I thinking? And nobody ever just messages anybody and says like, hey, good luck.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that you're right. People are going to have their own comments and thoughts about it. And I do think that some content creators may have some negative thoughts, whether they say them or not. That's another story. Whether I see more thumbs down, possibly. But
you know what? It still counts as positive engagement. So
yeah. So I'm trying to put that in the back of my mind, because it does creep up every once in a while, especially like when the Bella Blvd announcement was made. And this week, seeing things that are being posted, whether they're on my channel or other channels or other Facebook groups and things like that, the reading between the lines of things, it's there. And I definitely struggle with it. But
I will say I want people to know I do a really good job of playing devil's advocate for Lisa when she's like in her
all over
whatever.
the place.
But I also do a really good job when she's spiraling and she's saying, I think that either this person thinks this, or I'm worried that viewers are going to say this. And I'm like, I don't read. That's not what I'm getting from. There's nothing in between those lines. And I'm like, just stop. Like, I don't think that that's happening.
Yeah. And I think that I have been so busy and so excited about this that there hasn't been the opportunity for those negative comments to creep in. And I've just done me this week, and I have enjoyed this entire week of being able to create content, focus on my new little adventure, carving out a place for me in this world, and making sure that I am seen as Life and Layouts, as Lisa, as a content creator, as a business owner, and just accepting the fact that those negative Nancys are going to be there, and they can't be something that I worry about.
Okay. I hear you. But I know you.
Yes.
And there's going to be times where you sit down, breathe, and all of that comes flooding in.
Oh, yes.
And I have to be like, shut up. Like, just shut up. Which rolls into, like, I've got on here, like, what have you done already? Because like we've talked about this, you do everything with intent and research and all that stuff. Like, what have you done already or planning to do to set yourself apart from every other person that's trying to do content creating and trying to be financially independent in this?
Well, when I was talking to Philip and we were talking about the tape dispenser, right? And I was like, how are we going to set ourselves apart from anybody else on Etsy, right? Because those tape dispensers are on Etsy. There's a ton of them on there. There's a ton of people putting out there. And he was like, but how many of those are scrapbookers and they have a platform that they're putting themselves out there for? And so I feel like everything that I've done, and I have a note up here that, where did I put it? I have built Life and Layouts long enough that there is a brand there. My brand is double page layouts, lots of photos. There's not a ton of embellishments. Like, my photos are the star of the show, and my stories are important and they matter. And I feel like the layout that I created today that went up, the Bella Blvd one, or the Doodlebug one that I was showing earlier, the story behind it was Eli's anxiety, and being able to share our life and what's going on and the real things behind who we are. We are real people. We have anxiety. We've both admitted that across the board. Mental health is a huge aspect of a lot of people's lives. And a lot of times, we talked about this in another episode, there's that whitewash effect that people have in all content creating, right? Like, if you were to watch a majority of content creators, they're putting out their best foot, right? They're putting out the best things, but that's not necessarily what you see behind the scenes. And granted, I'm not going to share everything of everything, right? Like, there's times where we struggle. There's times where I'm not so nice with Eli. There's times where he frustrates me. There's times where I'm not cool with him and I'm not doing the best that I can be as a parent. And I'm not going to put that out there. But there's also times where I want to showcase real life stuff. That layout was about a dentist visit, and that's what the pictures look like. It's just him sitting in the dentist chair, but the story behind it is where I stand apart. And I feel like by putting myself out there, putting my journaling out there, and truly presenting myself as I am, flaws and all, the fact that I mess up a ton, and sometimes I'm like, here I am again, making a mistake. But it's what resonates with people.
This is the you do you effect.
Yes, absolutely. And people are showing up for me.
Yes.
So when we talk about if you're going to be a content creator, it's not doing what I do or what Nicole does. It's doing what you do, and you bring in your own people. Absolutely, there are going to be some crossovers, right? Because there's only so many people scrapbooking. But people follow me because I'm a double page scrapbooker. I put a lot of photos on my page. My photos are the star of my show. And honestly, I believe my journaling is pretty top notch and people enjoy that. That's not why people follow you. And you have your own reasons why people follow you.
I have no idea.
But I think that there's crossover. There's people who enjoy both of us. But then there's also times where I mention you and I'll get a comment like, who's Nicole? What? Like,
and then on the other hand, I get comments that say, hey, Lisa, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I'm not Lisa.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. So there's, it's I think that's what's going to set me apart, is that I have worked extremely hard to build life and layouts since 2019. And
that's what I'm saying. It goes back to you go at everything with intention.
Yeah. And so this isn't, May 1st, 2026, I'm starting this adventure as day one. This is May 1st, 2026 is the day that I am stepping out from all of this hard work that I have done since 2019 to say, this is where I want to be full time. This is what I want to do full time. And here's all the ideas that I haven't had the time to do because I wasn't a full-time content creator. So the floodgates are open and a lot of things are coming. Lots and lots of ideas. And I'm super excited about that.
I only have one more.
Okay.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And this one I'm excited about because I've asked it multiple times. Every time I ask it, now. Okay. Can we look forward to any sort of online extras like crops, YouTube memberships, classes, Patreon, something that is further supporting monetarily, but also that community aspect and getting involved? And I even offered to help.
So one of the things that I have been more open to, because I'm still not open to memberships, because again, it goes back to, I had an idea of like, okay, this may be a layout or a video that I can put in the behind the paywall, put it in the just for the subscribers or just for the people who pay extras or whatever. And the video flopped. Like, it did horribly. And I was like, okay, well, I didn't put it out there. I didn't say that that was my thinking. I was just like, I'm going to put it out there as a regular video. I'm going to do what I would normally do.
I think I know why it flopped.
Why?
I think as soon as, and me, you, anybody, I think as soon as you put it out there and you ask people to publicly respond to almost pledging a monetary support, crickets. Whereas if you present it as something that's, hey, it's there, it's self-checkout, you can do whatever you want, those quiet lurkers in the corner will sign up. For some reason, if you sort of try to gauge, put a poll out, ask, it doesn't do well. And I'm not 100% sure why, which this is almost making me wonder. You can cut this out if you want to. I've mentioned possibly having Sarah Scraps on as a guest before, because I think she just checks a lot of boxes industry-wise. But we could definitely ask her how we both ended up on the team and pick her brain about monetizing things and the membership things, because like she just told me that she's doing her like heritage class over on her membership right now, and she told me when the first video dropped. I think it could be interesting to hear a perspective of somebody who is pushing those things and marketing those things. But I've been pushing crops. I think that you should do some online crops in those lulls of some of those bigger people that are doing crops, because people enjoy them. You give them some free digital stuff. You give them access to yourself. You do some lives. People like it.
Yeah, that is what I have been open to, is an online crop where, just like the other, think about National Scrapbook Day and the crops that were available for National Scrapbook Day, where it's, digital content, some extra videos, and, maybe a live or something during that time or something, where I am able to put that out. I feel like right now my plate is really large and full, and
row another one.
Yeah, so it's definitely not something that's happening next weekend, but I could see that being something where I put that out. And
I suggested a summer stash side focused crop.
Yes, and I even thought about, which I'd have to look it up, when National Digital Scrapbook Day is, and because that's like sometime in the fall, I think, but doing a crop that was hybrid focused. So bringing in the people in the pool from the digital, but showing how you can use it hybrid stuff. So yeah, so that is it's a no longer a hard no. It's the wheels are working.
You're hearing me out.
Yes, I'm hearing you out.
Okay.
Yeah. It's taken what, a year and a half to hear you out on that one.
Listen, guys, I'm trying because I want to go hang out in a crop. I'll give you $20 to go hang out with you and hang out with you every day. Hopefully, like I tried not to ask, like, I'm not going to ask you what your bills are. That's nobody's business. I'm coming at it from a concerned, like, I love you aspect. Please feed Eli. I'm with Eli on this one.
Yes. Yeah. Which he's, like I said, we're changing things here, but we're still, figuring out our way. And that's a whole other thing is like explaining to him that, dinner doesn't have to be full meals.
You are currently teaching him a significant life lesson right now in the sense that he hasn't been aware of how stable things have been because of savings and just the way that you budget and do things. And yeah, there's some wiggle room to go to McDonald's or whatever. He's now going to be able to understand that a little bit better and then also see you carve out a different existence that is equally successful, but maybe looks different. Okay. Any parting words for...
So the only thing I think, which we kind of harped on it a little bit, but go support us, regardless of how that is. Liking our videos, hyping them, watching them, finding our Instagram accounts and resharing our stuff, all those things to support us, all the way to filling out our Google form as to what organization, scrapbook supplies you need, to making purchases.
Yeah. To wrap everything up, What is baby Lisa 2019? What would she think of Lisa today?
I think that 2019 Lisa and where she was in every aspect of her life would never imagine Lisa being as successful as she is today. And I don't even feel like I am at my most successful point. I'm just starting out.
But you should be proud. You should be proud of yourself.
I'm very, very proud of how far I've come and for the little nudges that I got back in 2019 to start this channel and to start this adventure, and never, ever would imagine quitting my corporate job to be here. And I didn't. I got laid off, so there's a big difference.
I was about to say, I mean, technically quit, so I wasn't going to say it. I was technically,
I did.
You got the boot.
Yes, I did.
Hey.
But I don't think that had I gotten the boot, I would be here either. And
no, I think there's a lot of things in life that we are too scared to consider following through on until there's this sort of shakeup to where it's like, F it. What's the worst that could happen?
Yep. And so it's a lot has happened since 2019 to get me to this point. But looking back, I feel like all of it was driving me here. And, they always say you don't know where you're going and what things mean until you're living the dream, which I absolutely doing.
I don't want to have to go watch all of the first season episode. I swear. I need you, because you don't send them to me anymore. I don't do the little teaser trailer anymore. You don't send it to me. But I feel like there's a way to do. I swear we were recording and I said, yeah, I'm having a yes year, but yours is coming. And it's going to be carved out by you, and it's going to be more retail and like marketing of yourself focused. And you were just like, you're full of shit. And I was like, okay. I need like the flashback montage.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's probably, I don't know. I would think it's probably in
I've told it to you so many times that I'm like, I don't know if it's a fever dream that it was in an episode or if I've just told you.
I'm sure we captured it. And I'm sure that, if anybody wants to support us and go watch all of season 1 and then come back and be like, hey, it's in episode 2 at the 5-minute mark.
Yeah. And this one.
Yeah. I'm sure it's in multiples. Yeah. But it's almost surreal. This entire week has been surreal. There's been multiple times where I have said, or I've thought to myself, I can't believe this is my life. I can't believe I get to do this.
I'm really hoping that when this episode drops, that because there's ugly sides to the community, but most of the time there's this like beautiful level of like support and stuff that you see. So I'm hoping that when this drops, you'll see this like influx of like support.
Yeah. Well, I think that the title alone, which is Hear Me Out.
that was a clickbait.
Absolutely. What is it?
I quit my corporate job or something.
I quit my corporate job, yeah. So that's a what? Yeah. But I have also hinted.
I think it's going to be good.
I think it's going to be good too. But I have also hinted at anybody who has remotely even circled anything about this. Make sure you watch this podcast. If you don't watch anything else, watch this one because there's exciting news coming. Anytime anyone mentions anything at all, like that comment about how the wheel may have to go by the wayside, watch the podcast. The podcast is going to explain it.
And I would like to tell anybody that is in this community, makes videos, shares their layouts, is comparing themselves to us. Don't do that, for one. For two, supporting other content creators sends that support back to you. It's just this natural thing that happens. And I think that some people get this thing in their head where they're like, this awesome thing is happening to this person and it makes me irritated and I'm jealous and I'm angry. So I'm not going to engage in their content. And it's like, you're missing out on one, just kind of letting those thoughts out. Get rid of it. Tell somebody, hey, congratulations, good job. People see you congratulating them. It's just this, I don't know how to, it's not kumbaya. You know what I mean? It's this natural thing that you start to see. And just because somebody's in a peak and somebody's in a valley, like, you got to support them.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely support people. I had Melody from She Said Scrapbooker reach out to me. I actually reached out to her because I loved her doodlebug layout that she created with that sketch, the one that I went up today. And I just sent her, I was like, one, you're super fast. I don't understand how you're super fast because you're amazing and your layout's super cute. But then we got started talking about like content creating stuff and everything. And she asked me she said, I want to start doing what you do on Instagram with your like with the doubles and stuff. She's like, it's really hard to photograph those things. And she's like, I want to make the photos better. So she's like, do you mind if I do that? And I was like, one, I took it from other people. And two, absolutely. Reach out to people. Content creators are...
There's this like concept that people don't reach out to other creators and ask them, hey, how do you do this? How do you set this up? Because I think it's just ingrained. Like, it used to be nobody shared, nobody helped, nobody told anybody. When I was struggling with my photos a couple weeks ago, I was talking to a friend and I was like, this is bad. And we were discussing like how other people do it. She's like, just go ask. And I was like, no, I'm not. I don't know them. And the first, I can't slide into somebody's DMs and be like, hey, I've never sent you any other DM. Like, really cute layout, was inspired by you. Can you tell me the behind the scenes of how you do this? I shut myself down from that. She was like, I got you. Let me go ask. 5 minutes later, she was like, this is how she said she does it. And I was like, one, amazing that she's like, yeah, let me help somebody else out. And two, that person had the lady cojones of,
Yeah. And it goes back to, I know I've said it multiple times, probably in this episode and other episodes as well. This is a dying hobby. And if us as content creators don't support each other and make the hobby available and make it interesting and get it out there and make the stupid YouTube algorithm figure out that scrapbooking is what people want to watch, then it's going to die. And if that means that I need to support other content creators so that they can make their images look great and they can have videos go out, there's enough hours in the day for multiple content to be consumed.
I had a friend text me and she said, I'm thinking about making a channel, but I'm like talking myself out of it because I'm not as good as you. And I was like, you can shut up right now.
You go watch 2019
Immediately
Lisa.
Go make, oh God, go. I don't even think about my old backlog. Listen, I was like, go film a layout, test editing. If you don't like the editing, that's my usual like do or die. Like if you don't enjoy editing, I like learning computer software. So like I like the edit. If you don't like that part, you cannot push forward past the imposter syndrome and past the what do people say and nobody's watching and it's the field. Like I was like, yes, please start a channel. There's room.
Right.
Like,
yeah. And don't compare yourself to 2026 Lisa and Nicole. Go watch very first layout of Lisa and Nicole, not you and I. If you want to create a channel, if you want to start a channel, if you want to go down this path, do not watch 2026 Lisa's layout and be like, I'm not that good. Yeah,
go to their channel. Anybody that you're like, oh, I love their stuff. Go to their channel, switch the thing to oldest to newest, and watch their journey. Mm-hmm. And then you appreciate the journey.
Right. Because we didn't start in 2026. I posted a video of Doodlebug asked for your first layout that you created with Doodlebug on National Scrapbook Day. They had like, one of their challenges. I went and watched that video before I posted it. And my only thought was, poor baby Lisa. She did not know what she was doing. But I still posted it.
I watched one from 5 years ago and I was like, dang, that was good. What happened?
I mean, there's times where I was, I look back and some of them are like, I was on point. But then there's other times that I'm like, what was I thinking? I put that out there for everybody to watch.
You weren't thinking. You were just enjoying the process. And then when you got 2 views, you were like,
yeah. Yeah. So if you want to be a content creator, watch our old stuff. Don't watch today and compare yourself to today because you're not going to come out the gate anything that Nicole and I are putting out today. We didn't come out the gate putting what we put out today.
I don't think I'm putting out anything great today either.
But you're putting out better than when you started.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because you learn. Yeah, you learn as you go on.
Yeah, you're, regardless of where you are, regardless of in the journey of how far you've come, you have come pretty far. And so when you compare yourself as a new content creator, compare yourself to brand new content creators. Don't compare yourself to somebody who's been in this journey for a long time. So, but we're way off tangent now.
I was like, we got to wrap up, girl. It's my lunchtime.
Yes. So next episode, I say this all the time. I haven't planned anything.
Oh, Season 2 I thought...
Oh, we're
doing back to back because this is all you. And then I thought next week we were considering talking about creating the collections. And
so I'm going to put this out there. You suggested it. I need to make sure that it is well known that Nicole wanted to talk about creating with collections because
I'm hoping it'll help inspire me to dust that off.
Because little Lisa over here is like, I'm trying not to say anything.
I
have
listen.
3 layouts done, waiting on you.
I know. And I'm trying to plow through some stuff. And I'm also in that you only have 1 kid. I got 2. I'm in that, I don't even know what it's called, where it's like the end of school, where my brain thinks, let's just kick back, review, do our testing. No, these schools are like concert. This extra stuff, tryouts. Hey, pay this fee. And I'm like, leave me alone.
So you have 2 kids and I have 1. That's a huge difference. And my kid is an introvert, which I told you this the other day. And I was like, man, he's definitely my kid.
Was it yesterday I told you? I got in my car, left my house and came home 8 times.
Yeah, that's just no. Where my kid tells me, what are we doing on the way to the bus? What are we doing tonight? I don't have anything planned. Good, because I need to be in my room because I am tired of people. Okay. Not that that's
I'm
any
with him.
different than any other day of the week because he's not involved in any activities. He's such an introvert. So I have one less kid, and my kid is not involved in activities, and your kids are involved in everything. So,
And like, no hate to you. Like, there's no partner, there's no spouse that also like is kind of a time suck too. Not like a bad time suck, but you know what I mean. Where you're just like, you can literally just go all day if you want to.
Yeah, I could. I could. And there had been, like I said, I've gotten up, taken him to the bus stop, and started at 6 a.m. and went until 3 o'clock when he got home and just content create, right? Doing all the stuff with no other interruptions until he got home from school at 3 o'clock.
And you don't have to go get him.
No, I don't. He takes the bus. So it's always a fun thing too. Yeah. So, all right. So next episode, are we doing creating with collections? You're committing to that?
I only suggested it because I felt like it was only fair that if you were going to be in the hot seat for 2 hours talking about yourself, and I was like, I don't know what else I could possibly talk about, because I don't really like attention. So
I mean, we can bring it up. I can create an outline.
I can't talk about scene building for more than like 12 minutes. So
we could throw that in there because you got to do some scene buildings with your creative collections. I feel like you do that a lot in your past.
Okay, you know what? Yeah, we could do that because then what you could basically do is you could pop up both of our layout ones. We're thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
If we do have Sarah as a guest at some point, she ran 4 with me, so she's experienced it as well. I may have been a little bit more scared of her foot on my ass than I am with. I also wasn't on Teams though either. So
yeah. I also feel like I haven't put my foot on your at all.
No.
Just like, it is what it is. All right. So next episode will be creating with collections because Nicole's willing to go down that path.
Why not?
If you have questions about creating with collections, you can fill out the Google form and we will discuss them in the topics. There are a couple already in there, and I think that's where you kind of pulled the idea from.
Yeah, it was collection based, not necessarily the series, but yeah, there was some topic on scrapping within a collection.
Yeah, so we can discuss those. So anything to do with the previous creating with collections, I'll link all of Nicole's previous ones. She has 4 previous series that are completely done, and then I'll link both of our series for series 5 that have 4 or 5 episodes in it. So I'll link those down in the show notes as well. So if you want to check that out and watch those and then ask questions about it, or if you just have questions about working within a collection and how we do that, since we're both do that quite a bit. All right. Anything else you want to say before we wrap up this really long episode?
If you made it this far, you have homework, and it is to go find something of Lisa's on the internet and engage with it.
Yes. I love that idea. Yes.
That's your homework.
That's your
homework.
Come
back, and to prove that you did your homework, I need a weird emoji. Drop a sheep.
Sheep?
A sheep.
A sheep. All right.
It's not an easy to find one.
No, you have to actually search for it. All right. I like it. All right. Thanks, everyone, for joining us today, and we will see you on the next podcast. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks for hanging out with us. If you like this episode, make sure you follow the show so you don't miss what's coming next.
We're so glad you joined us today, whether you were gluing, cutting, or just avoiding your photo backlog.
Until next time,
pass the scissors.